say at the moment right now, our current victim has a. Let me just go with rod in his leg.
Okay, so he's got some shrapnel.
At the moment, that is the current injury that he has to his leg. Let's say first apply. First, after we assess the situation, we would apply pressure. Since it's somewhere towards the mid-high thigh, I'd say apply pressure right above it. And is this removable?
No, you don't want to pull that out, that's not your job.
Well, you gotta treat it like it is, and tell me, first of all, that you've gone through your ABCs. We've got the victim, stable, and now we are prepared to treat the shrapnel, that we've noted in his left leg. It is bleeding, so, we're going to have to use a pressure bandage. But there are some precautions that you need to make, and I need to know what those precautions are. If it's bleeding, where do I apply pressure? Okay, how do I apply pressure? Do I apply more than one type of pressure? And so forth. So I need y'all to talk to me, go.
Okay, let's say for the point.
You gotta speak loud enough so the camera can hear you.
So we apply direct pressure to,
All right, show me.
let's say, just above the.
So what did we learn the pressure point was for an injury in the thigh? Are you gonna stand over him like that? Are you gonna stand back there and just watch him die? I just wanna know, you guys are taking care of this guy. Take care of him. Just talk to me while you're taking care of him.
So, say, one pressure point is, say, mid-thigh, and that's above, or just above it, so we would apply pressure just above the wound.
Do it.
Okay, so after we will apply pressure here,
And if it's still bleeding, put some pressure on the wound, but try not to put it exactly on like the rod and push it more in.
Because that could cause pain, couldn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so what are we doing? We're just holding him? Is that when we're gonna stay?
no, sir.
I got a rag to kind of clean up some blood that spilled over.
Okay, so obviously we're there. So number one, we've got to be in a sense of hurry. Okay, we've stabilized the victim. The victim is stabilized. Can you hold it? Just kind of comfort the victim, please. Stabilize the victim. We've got to prepare a pressure bandage. So what we did is we've got a pressure bandage. I need the gauze. We got to put some pressure on there. If you could come around here, can you talk to the victim and not to his toe, please? Please, quickly. And what we want to do is we want to try to apply the direct pressure, and I'm going to need you to help me lift him up. And as we apply this direct pressure, hopefully this is going to stop the bleeding. I'm going to need another bandage. Can you get me another bandage, please?
Yes.
Can you get me another bandage? So we apply direct pressure on it, and we keep that pressure, but right now it's still bleeding. So I'm gonna use his pressure point right here, and I'm gonna make sure that the victim, the bleeding is stopped. My partner is continually trying to comfort him and let him know that everything is gonna be okay until the necessary emergency responders can arrive. Can I have that, please? Thank you very much. So with the pressure, because it's still bleeding, I'm gonna continue to put just a little more pressure on there. And sometimes we have to move the leg just a little bit in order to get that on there, so. And once we got that on there, we can actually tie the knot. I'm not gonna tie it now, okay? So, we've treated the victim for some shrapnel that's just lodged in his upper thigh, and we've got the emergency responders on the scene now, and we're going to turn the victim over to them. But right now, we seem to have the bleeding under control. The victim is stable. What didn't we do right?
Put on
In the
blood.
beginning.
What should this be?
Elevated.
Oh.
Four? All right, so, that's just a little bit, I want you to be kind of serious when you're doing this, because just don't talk to him, because he's gonna die if you don't take care of him. Cool? So, group number 2, let's see if we can get a little bit more lively action there.
That's us.
Yes, okay, so tell me what you got.
Here we have what we're assuming to be broken bone or some kind of internal damage in the lower shin, and we have a fracture coming outside of the body on the upper thigh. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna apply pressure to this pressure point on the hip right here. If
So
you
what
could
do we
that for
call
me.
that when we see a bone protruding out of the body? We have a simple fracture.
Open fracture.
We've got an open, probably a compound fracture, because we got what seems to be a fracture here. We've got a open wound there, so.
What we're gonna do is we're going to apply a bandage or something to control the bleeding, and we're gonna put pressure around that.
Okay, so what do we wanna do with this leg? If it was already elevated, we would probably.
Would
Okay.
you want to move a broken? You do move a broken leg.
Well, look at what you're doing there. What you wanna do though, if it's bleeding because you've got some bleeding going on, what are you gonna do? Do you wanna just leave it there?
No, you got high pressure here, so you put pressure there. We're going to. Do you want us to elevate the leg? 'Cause it does have 2 broken parts. It could damage the
So
bone
you've
structure.
got a board there, in order to keep the
We're gonna apply a
leg,
splint.
okay,
So what we'll do here is we're gonna grab this. We're gonna put it, or what we could do is if the other leg, if we don't have a board, we can tie it to the other leg with a cushion in between it. But we do have a board, so we're gonna put the board alongside the leg, and we're not gonna put the wrapping on either of the wounds because that could cause it to bend or cause further damage.
so do you wanna keep it up top there? Is that where you want it?
Well, we would try to keep both parts of the leg
Gotcha, go
controlled. We're gonna get that nice and tight wrapped around. I don't want to cut this.
You don't cut it.
Yeah, obviously. So then the leg is now stabilized straight, so the bones don't bend. We have pressure on the open wound, and the victim's bleeding has been controlled, so we can release or decrease pressure on the pressure point, and that is how we assess and control the weak wound.
Okay, all right, good. Can I get some real actors on the scene here?
We up next.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, God.
I get somebody who's really gonna take this serious.
I want to.
This is Kayla Sanders reporting in for Channel 9. So what we have, what we have here is a victim who obviously has internal organs coming out of his abdominal area. So what we're going to do is I want you to talk to the patient while we wrap the area you don't want to try.
Okay.
You do not at all want to try to push the organs back inside their body. Can you help me?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a man. Come on. Okay. I'm a female. I'm weak. Don't touch the stuff, okay? Don't at all try to. And if they complain that it's too tight, then you wanna, oh well.
And don't
You
give
are
him
old.
food or water.
Yes. That's all that you
Unless-
can really do for somebody that has an internal organs coming out until help arrives.
So what about, a pressure bandage? Would not use a pressure bandage? I mean, you've got the wound lightly, but you wanna put something over to soak up the blood, huh?
That is the pressure.
That is a pressure bandage?
The claw.
That looks like a
Oh, you
claw.
wanted us to use the claw? Like this?
No, pressure bed. Why?
You could use that as a pressure bandage.
Well, let's just say this is the
I thought you
pressure
were
band.
supposed to put pressure on.
This is the
Wait,
pressure
yeah.
bandage.
But you don't wanna lay it there, what you wanna do is you wanna fold it, so it makes the form of of gauze that can, there you go, fold, 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 fold,
The other way now.
maybe again.
You're gonna kill this
Okay.
man.
Like, oh my gosh.
This man would die.
Okay, So now,
Don't.
Oh my God, why would you, Ray?
You just squeeze as hard as his side.
So you just,
well, that probably should have been laid loosely there, and then when you put the bandage around, it would have applied pressure. You know-
Gotcha, like that. So you should have applied the
Bandage,
to-
and then
so-
use your, got it, good, okay. So now, when we really talk to a victim, are we gonna say, it's gonna be okay, and we don't talk to him anymore?
No.
No, Trey.
You say, look at, why is his head like that?
It's okay, sir.
You got it.
There.
All right, so we have our next,
Yeah,
group.
get off the seat.
Can I get somebody that is really gonna save Mr. Bob's life next?
Okay. Oh, it was me.
I was safe.
We're next.
I would run this.
We're next.
All right,
We are right now.
Like Daniel or something.
okay, let's go.
Okay. Well, got this. Yes.
So we're cheating the right lower arm?
And the other arm.
Remember, you're being recorded, you're talking as you're walking through this. Let's go.
So we have to first elevate the feet because we're checking for shock and you're checking for open fracture.
So the bone is sticking out of his lower arm. So we applied pressure point on this pressure point on his elbow area. And then apply pressure and wrap it loosely, not tightly, because that could push the bone back in. So we gotta.
So everything's gonna be okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Ask him how he feels.
You okay? No? It's gonna be okay.
Most likely. Yeah, he's probably alright. We can breathe him.
Sir, don't freak out. Don't freak out. You'll cause shock.
Okay. Also, we have a small bullet wound on.
And to treat this bullet wound, we have to apply light pressure because there is still something in it and I don't want to go in there and take it out. So I have to apply light pressure. And I have to tie this around.
You think it's plausible that, the bullet went in through the arm and came out in his chest?
Exit wound and enter and exit.
I think he'd be
It's
dead.
larger
after.
here.
You
it's
might
smaller.
be dead.
If we went straight
Oh, if
through
that-
this
if
shoulder
that's
out
the
the other
case,
shoulder, it would have broken everything in
then-
between.
Yeah.
And it would tore through his lungs, maybe his heart.
Right, if that's the case,
Everything. It would have been dead.
Yeah.
we need to add pressure
It would have broken
onto
every
the
bone through
lung
here. His
so
body.
that
Collarbone.
no air can seep out. Not anymore air can.
It would have gone through his
Slightly.
spine.
Lift his body.
It depends on.
is there string in there, sir?
Yeah, right there.
String.
Shoulders.
But that would be the kind of, injury that we would use for our chest wound, wouldn't we? We would put a bandage over it, kind of something like that there, maybe. But we would pull a seal around it, wouldn't we? Because air is probably escaping out of that hole, isn't it? Cool?
Cool.
Okay, all right. All right, so what do you think so far? You think Bob's gonna make it?
No.
No.
This
I don't
man,
think
all these
it's a
injuries
waste
he
of
has, this man is a waste of time.
Why do you do all that
organs.
stuff? That's too much stuff on
Okay, so we got a head injury that we won't get to today, but we will tomorrow or at some point. So we can cut the video.